And we're on with Teresa and her awesome boyfriend, Mike. Welcome aboard.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Thank you both for joining. So, Teresa, we wanted to catch up with you. Mike, I wanted to meet you.
First time meeting, yeah.
And I see you have your dive bar hat. You enjoy the...
Yep, I rock it all the time. So
we see
it's
that.
funny. I used to not prefer the hats with the dots. Where you can adjust them and
snap.
Snapback
yeah.
hats,
And I had them, in baseball when I was younger, like little league and stuff. But I love them now, and it's got the little like mesh in the back, so it keeps your head cool. So
I have to tell him in bed, take the hat off. So he has the ledge right above the bed, and his dive bar hats sit right above like the headboard on our bed.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
Or she'll grab a dive bar in the morning, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a video of what I'm eating real quick," and then I go, "Oh, just a minute, I'll grab my dive bar hat."
It's our routine, our morning routine. I hop out of bed, go grab a bar, grab him an energy drink, come back, and then record.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hat is an instant, great marketing tool. Like, admittedly, Janice she's been on video with the hat, but she's not always in the hat. She has nice hair and she likes her hair. But we're like, all right, we're gonna roll here. Let's get the hat. She's like, okay, wait, let me brand myself, and she'd get their hats. So.
And they're cute though. Every time I wear them, everybody always comments. Like when I go out and wear it too, people love it. They're super. Yeah. They're super cute for me as well. He looks great in it.
Yeah. Well, when Teresa first told me about dive bar and like, oh, I work, I do this and that, and I sell and promote, and I said, what's dive bar? And I actually about a month ago we watched one of your videos talking about like the whole dive bar.
History and all that.
Yeah, like why you call it dive bar and all that. And I thought it was a cool name. Like, oh, a dive bar.
Yeah.
People always think it's like, oh, you're going to a dive bar.
But it's for recovering after a long night.
Yeah, and it's funny. I mean, I know for folks who don't know, you're in California. I don't know if I don't want to give the zip code, but we talked a little bit about, some of the rock and roll history in California and the clubs and all that. And here I am streaming with folks in California. Yes, and then for people at home, they see this is my little shrine. After I left California, I kind of went back to education, and I became an educator at a community college in the desert of New Mexico. And here's my little shrine to when I lived in New Mexico. Those are bobbleheads of the Breaking Bad characters.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And that's my little Albuquerque. That's a Breaking Bad, the silhouettes of the guys. So it all comes together tonight on the pod.
Yeah, right? Love it.
So many folks have seen you guys online.
Yeah.
And bring us up to speed. I know a little bit of how you met, when you met, but recently you merged into one home. The podcast studio is new. Mike, I think, built it or contributed. So tell us what the kind of the state of life as it is in 2024.
Well, we met on Match.com. We matched, went on a first date, and literally have been inseparable since then.
Yeah.
And we've been living together 7 months.
Yeah.
We've been together since August. So we connected and then like merged almost immediately together.
A lot of trust is involved in that. You know, just like should I get out of my place and leave all this whole thing behind?
He took me away from the beach. That's what he's saying. I moved out of my place and I was like, I'm moving inland, and everyone knows how much I'm obsessed with the beach.
Well, and her rent was
good rent, everything where I was, but
it was great.
Like, it was the first time in my life that I was like, wow, I felt this super strong connection, and he's such a good man. Has a beautiful heart, and he's so kind to me. I mean, he literally spent weeks building this studio head to toe. When I moved in, I was like trying not to take up space. I'm like, I'm sorry, because everyone knows I have a huge shoe collection. I'm obsessed with clothes. Like, I have a million things, right? I got my little ark, my animals. And he was like, no, babe, this is your house. Take every inch of it. Yeah. And he meant it. Like,
he was afraid to change things around or touch anything. I'm like, hey, this kitchen just, move whatever you want around. And,
yeah, I took over all the closets. He like literally his closet. I broke the pole in there from all my all my clothes.
Yeah.
But he's so good to me. We're just super happy. We're in a really good place where we've established like living together and like we're very comfortable and just happy. We've blended our life. Our animals are the best of friends now, and we hang out 24/7. He's my best friend in the whole world and my support system. So
and she for me too.
Yeah.
Very
That's
happy.
great.
That's great. Yeah. That is awesome. And for people who don't know, Long Beach, California is, of course, a coastal town. You mentioned inland. Again, we will respect. We're not going to say where. But if you don't know, but you could imagine the coast of California is like freaking 15 degrees cooler than the desert.
Well,
so it's love. You're living in the inland is a hotter place.
It's love. I'm 30 miles inland in Orange County, and it's so funny because it is very hot here. The culture is different. The climate is different where I am. And whenever the breeze comes, he's always like, baby, look, the ocean breeze is coming for you. I'm like, don't, no, sir. Don't try to make it any better. No.
Don't compare it to the beach.
But tomorrow's my birthday, and we're actually, he's taking me back to Long Beach to go and recreate our first date we had on the water in Long Beach. So I'm super excited for that.
Hold hands and walk down the pier.
Yeah.
Very cool.
On
how we met.
Give me a little dose of the beach too. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool. Well, what the heck was I going to say? Oh, and obviously you have, we see a nice sizable yard. Animals are a little happier, I imagine.
Smokey
spacious.
is happy. The bird.
Yeah.
Forget
really?
the other ones. The bird. Because the bird and I have had this tumultuous relationship for 25 years. He doesn't even like me.
Yeah.
He's like my grumpy relative that I put up with. But him and Mike are the best of friends. They are constantly squawking and it's like I live with Big Bird and a little bird. They're constantly squawking and repeating. He's like teaching the bird. I can hear him. Duck noises, and he makes the sound of Mike's drills.
The sound of a drill.
Yeah, the animals are very happy here. We have a dog park right down like 5 houses away, so we go there with them, and they all just get along. It's really nice how easy this happened. Very easily. It didn't feel forced. Right. There's been like no tension or. It just felt really natural and very easy. So, yeah, I'm very, very grateful, very happy.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Mike, I got to speak with you a few minutes right before we tuned up and hit record. So, tell folks what you share with me a little about your health journey and particularly as it pertains to weight. I think we're share similar background. Sometimes when I'm on a podcast with a weight loss community or a member of the weight loss community, I'll start talking that I share a sentiment or a concern or food addiction. But then I'm quick to kind of reinforce it with like, I had a sort of a rocky road as a child where I was kind of, maybe I wasn't an obese kid, but it was the 80s when I was a kid. Every kid was just skinny as a rail and eating sandwiches and whatever the heck, chocolate and soda. And me, I was the kid that if I had a freaking soda, boom, a soda, it doesn't even make sense. A soda and an ice cream, it would translate to 4 pounds on my ass, on my little freaking 10-year-old ass. So I was a thicker kid, and battled on and off with that. So let everyone know kind of, because I want to kind of bridge how you all live in the home here, and but share your experience for a moment.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, and being a teenager is a very sensitive age. You're thinking that everyone's against you, and you're going through your awkward stages, but yeah, I got very sensitive about gaining weight, and you're growing at the same time. So all of a sudden you go, hey, my pants don't fit, or it could have mostly been about just growing. But I was a heavy kid. In 5th grade, I weighed 130 pounds, size 9 shoe. I was a bigger kid.
Same.
But yeah, and then 6th grade, I moved schools. And then just having seconds every night, just 2 full plates every night, as much as I could. So there was no limit per se on food. So coming home, having snacks, the Kool-Aid, I'd come home, I'd watch Power Rangers. I'd grab my cold hot dog and make a little bit of batch of Kool-Aid. With
the cold hot
pickle,
dogs. Oh my God, it's all
pickle.
sticking in. He's still, Phil, I didn't realize that. I'm like, that's where it comes from. He still goes to the
Power
fridge and eats cold
Rangers.
hot dogs.
So wait, you don't cook? We gotta hold on. I'm trying not to interrupt, but then Teresa called it out.
I did. I can't.
You just take the hot dog out of the package and chow. I mean, you can. It's cooked. It's already boiled. But
Oscar Mayer.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
One.
He does do that, Phil. And I go, and I walk in the fridge. I'm like, for reals? I'm making food. And he's just nomming on cold hot dogs.
Yep.
I can't.
So, but yeah, I just and then in high school, you're most men and women, guys and girls, they go, it's very self-image, it's so, and I had braces in high school, so I decided the summer between sophomore and junior year, I thought, you know what, I really wanted to lose weight. I've attempted it many times before, or when I started gaining weight, but I just started walking around the neighborhood. I'd grab my CD player with some Blink 182 or Smash Mouth or what is it, Sugar Ray or something like that, But yeah, I'd walk around, and then I had one of those pedometers back in the day to trace your steps.
Oh yeah.
Instead of your smartphone, but yeah. I ended up getting 60 pounds off, going through my last growth spurt. And then it was good for about 10 years. I kept it off pretty well. Then life gets in the way again, mid 20s, you're, partying or just not watching. You don't give yourself the time, to go out and exercise and eat right. So, but yeah. That's basically it. So
yeah. Well, it's important to recognize that, and that's the first step in kind of keeping things under control. And Teresa, if anyone's tuning in, it's because we're a fan of you, and so many folks know your background and what. But let's connect the dots. So, what is life like? What are we doing with food? Is there an activity program, regiment, or are we just so busy with pets and you're freaking out there running around all day, every day? What's life like with this awareness of food? Because it's an important part of your relationship.
So I'm 6 years into my health and wellness journey. I'm down 464 pounds. Thank you. I've had 2 rounds of skin removal surgery. So I've had a total of about 50 pounds of skin removed from my body. And as you progress through your journey, as I have, your mindset around food, around your self-care, your awareness and everything, it evolves along with you. So I'm no longer in that phase. I'm more in maintenance phase. I'm no longer in that phase of life where I have to cling very tightly to counting all my calories, tracking, making sure I'm getting in X amount of steps every single day. My routine, my lifestyle is very much embedded as a part of my life. I know the foods that work for me, that work with my body. I am constantly on the go. I do not, he has to make me sit down and rest, because I am so opposite from starting this journey at over 600 pounds and being completely immobile to now I'm on the go all the time. I'm traveling all the time. I'm on my feet, running around. I can pretty much go constantly and just do just fine. I cook for us. I cook homemade food all the time. We do go out to eat occasionally. And when I do, I just get healthy stuff. And then he shares whatever I eat. But
small portions.
Yeah, I eat very small portions. I still pretty much nibble every few hours. Dive Bar is still a staple and has been a staple part of my diet for, I think, going on 5 years now. I've eaten them throughout my entire weight loss journey, so that always helps. But I'm vegetarian. As you know, I've been vegetarian for over 25 years. So my lifestyle is pretty solid, but I think that it has a lot to do with my mindset. I've really worked on my mental and emotional health, and I just am in a really good place where I am present in the moment more than I'm worrying about the past or worrying about what's to come. I'm just kind of enjoying life for the first time in my life. So it frees up all of that energy, not having to worry about moving around a 600-pound body or managing all the things that come with weighing that much. I am free now to literally live my life and enjoy it in every single capacity. And it's just amazing.
Amen. Very cool. Well, on the topic of dive bars, because obviously that's how we know you, and the pod is here. And tell us a little bit about, it's very interesting to me, only in the discovery of the bariatric community did I know that, as I got to know the community, did I know that caffeine could be bothersome. I don't think it influences you as much. And could you share just how you got to enjoy the bars? Are some good for you? And you what do they hit like? Because it has different speeds of feeling that you're digesting it.
So for me, I actually learned about dive bars from Katie, who works with you, who is not a bariatric patient.
Right.
As a bariatric patient, you are told you need to always hyper-focus on protein. And so a lot of bariatric patients tend to gravitate toward protein bars, protein shakes, and things like that. And when I was introduced to dive bars, I was already sick of all. I was like, oh God, I don't want to mention and put shade on any of the bars, but I was like, these are all gross. I don't want to keep spending my money on protein bars because none of them taste good. And Katie was like, no, just trust me. Order a sample pack of dive bar and you're going to love it. And I was like, oh, okay. It's going to be like any other one. I'm going to eat one and I'm going to throw it in the trash. I ate one and I was like, oh my God, I need to order more, because it was the first time that I tasted something that actually tasted really good, like cookie dough to me. It didn't have that nasty protein aftertaste. It settled really well in my bariatric stomach. Now, as far as caffeine goes, I am sensitive to caffeine. Now, however, I had a choice. I used to drink coffee. I gave up coffee because I'm like, why am I going to drink coffee when I can get my protein and eat a dive bar? So I literally quit coffee and switched over to eating a dive bar in the morning. Now, if I eat 2 in a row, I'm going to be buzzing and it's going to hit a little differently, right? Which I have done. Don't get it twisted. I've done that. But they actually are very filling for me. They don't, the buzz does not bother me at all. It's the same equivalent to having a cup of coffee. And especially if you're a bariatric patient, you're not going to inhale a bar at the speed of somebody who has not had weight loss surgery. So I'm going to nibble on it for like a good 30 minutes. So it takes longer for it to hit my system, if that makes sense.
And for me, I have a couple heart problems, issues. Tachycardia is one of them. And I'm pretty sensitive to high doses of caffeine, or, lots of caffeinated with, sugar deals. Mm-hmm. And I think the caffeine is a nice light. Like it wakes you up and you go, hey, how come I'm not, falling asleep here? Mm-hmm. Well, it takes the edge off of just kind of being drained.
It wakes me up every morning. Yeah. When I travel, that's literally, I was in the airport all weekend and I'm like, dive bar. I get on the plane, dive bar.
And it helps you get your workout in too, And you get the protein and work out.
Yeah.
When I talk to folks, you've seen some of the conferences and some of the more sterile industrial conferences where you're just talking to strangers for 10 hours a day, thousands and thousands of people at a fitness expo, food expo. I always say, and I know the bariatric stomach has a different functionality post-surgery, of course, but I always say, if you know a guy who has had marijuana edibles, that guy could tell you that it takes a good hour or two for the marijuana to kick in. And that's the stomach doing its work. It has to break things down to the molecular level, absorb it, and get that into the bloodstream. Whereas if we drink alcohol, or if you drank a THC beverage, or you smoke anything, you get that smoke. It's in your blood, to the lung, to the brain, 2 minutes. It's subtle when you eat something. It's a slower kind of cruise in.
Which is exactly why. Yep, that's exactly why I switched over to eating it, because when I was drinking it after surgery, when I was drinking caffeine, I would get that head rush and I would feel dizzy. But eating it, I feel like not only does it take a little bit longer to kick in, but it also lasts longer for me. And two birds, one stone. I get in my first meal of the day, and I get a little protein and caffeine burst. Like, it's perfect for me. And I also do another one typically like midday, whether it's a snack size one or a full one, just depending. I'll do a second one during the day, and that will get me through the last half of my day. So
cool. And what is your day like? Because I have not gotten to speak to you, or at least not at length. If I'm not mistaken, you are out of the school district, or what is the day-to-day like?
Am.
Tell us about the.
So my day-to-day life is so different now. My last day at the school was back in February 2nd, but I really stopped going. I didn't go back too much right after Christmas. Things really picked up for me, and I am doing this full time. I'm working with Pop Recovery Systems, and we are doing our best to uplift and inspire and motivate as many people within the weight loss community. So the weight loss community gets a bad rap. You always hear about the meetups that are full of drama and craziness and all this. And what I love about working with them is that it's literally focused on uniting everybody and creating positive experiences. And I was a part of their Beautiful Mind event last year where I shared my journey, and it's just come together so beautifully where we're able to walk people through their surgical journey. So what I'm doing is we support people through their bariatric or plastic surgery, but there's an entire support system that will support them for months prior to, with mental and emotional health, dietary, nutritional needs, everything from booking your hotel to everything you're going to need for whatever surgery you're having. And then we support you for months afterwards. And this is a new revolutionary program. There's nothing like it. I know when I had bariatric surgery and my first plastic surgery, I had to figure things out for myself, and that's really overwhelming. So this is like a coordinated effort. And as you know, I only align myself with brands and companies and people who align with my morals and values, who are genuinely wanting to put a product or a service out there to actually make a difference in the community. And I feel like I don't want to be a part of anything that's diet fads or crazy exercises or anything that's not actually helping people with long-term sustainable weight loss. Working with you, working with Pop, working with the select few brands that I work with, I genuinely feel like they're trying to make a difference and trying to better the community. And so I'm literally spending my time working with them. I also started a podcast. So I spend time recording for the podcast. And honestly, slowing down a bit. It was really hard for me to do all of this full time and work a full-time job at a school. I was gone 50 hours a week. And moving in with him, it was the first time in my life where I was like, you know what? I don't have to be go, go, go all the time. I don't want to be running on empty. And if this is something that I'm passionate about, which it is, if I've wanted to make a difference in the world in some capacity my entire life, I just didn't know how it was going to happen. And I miss the kids. I miss working in the school, but being able to be home with this man full time, because he works from home too as an automotive fabricator. So he works from home. We both get to spend time together, and I get to travel and inspire and motivate and uplift the community. It's just the best thing in the world. I'm so happy.
That's awesome. That's very cool. And I know, two parts in response to that. You know, my background, obviously I was an educator and I left, and yep. You miss it. And sometimes you have those moments, the little memory of so-and-so standing across from the desk or sitting side by side. And it's such a little micro influence, but it feels good. But it's hard to, yet we have to remind ourselves that if you're on a social media platform, it's hard. It's sometimes it's tough to remember. Well, is anybody watching? Is anybody getting the memo on the other side of the screen? But they're there, and I'm sure you get the feedback. Yeah. But unfortunately, you probably get the negative equal or more than the nice stuff. But you know, people.
Well, I honestly get more positive than negative. But the way that I look at it is that, like, I want to make a difference in the world, and I didn't ask for this platform. I didn't ask for over 1 million followers. It happened organically because I was vulnerable and raw and honest about my life experiences. And I feel a responsibility for having this platform. I want to genuinely be able to use it to make a difference in the world. And I feel like the weight loss community, people who have spent their lives being morbidly obese, I know from experience, I felt very isolated and alone. I literally never believed that I would ever find love, that I would ever be able to have a relationship, that I would ever be able to walk down the street, to travel across the country, to do any of those things. And so for me, sharing comes very naturally to me because I genuinely want people to see like, hey, you can go from where I was, over 600 pounds, completely immobile, being told that you were going to die before the age of 45, not having any quality of life, to I am here living proof that you can change your mind, body, and soul from the inside out and live your best life. So I feel like having this platform is a blessing. And I really try not to focus on the negative. He knows some days the comments, especially over the past year, because my physical appearance with all the skin removal surgery has changed. I dye my hair now. I get to play with fashion. Those are all things that I didn't get to do because I was over 600 pounds. I was very limited in what I could do. And sometimes there are people online who struggle with seeing the growth within me. And I have to remind myself that's not because of me and where I am in my journey. It's because of where they are in their life and in their journey. So I do try to keep it in perspective, but it's not always easy being vulnerable and sharing your life on social media. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, it is not. And, it's very easy. We throw around the word hater, right? I mean, it's become like part of the pop culture lexicon, but, it's really all it is. And on the inside, it's somebody that, didn't receive love, can't process love. They have the capability. I believe it's in all of us, but, and the final thing is the hater, I believe, and this is not a unique, I'm not Freud, but it's a hate of the self, you know what I mean? So if they see you have joy or you made a next benchmark of success, it's reminding them that they did not do that, and and that person, I don't know, you got to just wish well for them, and literally, I mean, just, hey man, it's inside of you.
Can do.
Right.
Yeah. There was actually recently a woman who was making negative comments to me about my breast or my chest, right? And I was like, my God, like, I don't understand this. And she was saying really nasty things to me. And she actually messaged me privately and apologized and explained to me that she didn't mean to lash out at me, that she had just had breast cancer and had her breasts removed. And so something about seeing me triggered her. And so she started taking it out on me. And when that happened, I was like, wow, that's a perfect example of you never know what someone is going through.
Right.
And she was projecting that feeling, onto me, and it had nothing to do with me, which is exactly why I don't react. Because I don't know the context of her life situation either. So I try to give grace as much as I can, but I am human. It does affect me. It absolutely, there's been nights where I'm heated, especially if they've come for him or said anything for him.
She gets really sensitive about what people say about me, and I'm just like, I just brush it off.
He'll laugh.
Oh, that's funny.
But
well,
because I do this, he doesn't. He's just, he's on because of me, and I'm like, don't attack my family. Don't attack. He's my family. Don't attack him.
Right. Well, that's actually, I did want to ask, what is your experience, Mike, to have somebody with such a presence in the world of cyberspace and social media influence, and a particular, a health community and a subculture, and then you're Mike, the great boyfriend at home. So, is it, what is life like? And then the stuff like these comments and I mean, it doesn't seem to bother you, which is great, but what's the daily? Yeah. She's out a lot, or she's got to take a lot of calls and Zooms.
Yeah, no, she gets very, very busy. What's nice is she gets to somewhat move her schedule around just enough for us to go, okay, well, we mold ourselves around schedule, her scheduled times. So yeah, we get a lot of time together, and it's funny when we first FaceTimed. I think it on her profile on Match said, "Oh, I'm a teacher and an influencer," and I didn't think about influencer as like the TikTok and followers and all that. I go, and she influences people. Oh, great. That's it. But but yeah, she goes, just go on this, transforming.
I
Teresa
wanted him
Murray.
to know what he was getting
I'm
himself
like,
into.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went on there and I just kept going back and back and looking at all of her videos, and I'm like, oh wow, she does a lot. Looks like she has a great heart. Like, so I got to at least see what she was like beforehand. So when you go on a blind date, you usually have no idea, or even if you see someone's profile and they write down whatever. You can write down whatever you want. You don't
Sure.
know someone. So, but yeah, that was a great first thing, right off the bat. But yeah, she's changed my life a lot. It's like just being a perfectly like just good soul and just does everything right, or so I've loosened her up, and she's gotten me more what do you call it, more
Straightened out.
responsible with things.
Yeah.
And
Taking care of yourself.
Yeah,
Consistently. Yeah.
Eat the right things at the right time, not staying up too late, or so yeah.
Awesome. And while I have you on the mic, a little bit ago, did I hear auto fabricator?
Yeah, I when I was younger, I started out. I've always, I was always the little kid. I'd get a remote control car for Christmas, and a couple of days later, I wanted to know how it worked. So I'd go in my dad's toolbox and get a screwdriver, take the whole thing apart. Problem is, when I first started doing that, I didn't know how to get them back together, so I ruined a bunch of things. One of my dad's drills, stuff in the kitchen for my mom. It was terrible. So, but I was just like an interested kid. I'd always, daydream in school and everything. Not really get that great of grades, but after high school, I ended up. I wanted to drive. Well, actually, in high school when I was 17, I wanted to drive. That's every person, freedom, So, but I picked up a maintenance manual for a car, and just looked at the pictures, read it all, and just got really interested in automotive. So I worked at auto parts stores for the past 20 years. So you can tell me.
Tell them what car you built. You build cars.
That's why I want to focus on the word fabricator. That sounds like you're building or repairing.
He tricks out like those
That's
crazy
think,
shows you see on TV.
Yeah.
He tricks out like cars and bikes and things like that.
Cool.
Yeah, my first project was a 67 Mercedes. So I put air suspension, airbags all on it, shaved all the handle, the door handles and the trunk, everything, all the chrome off of it. Then I had a 29 Ford Roadster Model A, black and with the red and with the white walls and the red wheels. And then I had a 29 Tudor sedan. They call it TUDOR sedan.
Sure.
That was a really fun project. Built the headers on it. So I got really into metal fabrication in college. So I did a couple auto classes. Then I took milling and machining. I learned how to weld. In one of my buddy's garages. So I bought a welder when I was younger. So yeah,
But the bike, okay, so
all that.
Right now he's building a rockabilly mini bike, Phil.
Yeah.
He has hand welded the entire thing. There is spider webs across it, skulls. There's a iron cross. There's like holes with like honeycomb behind it. The details are, he sells himself short. The details are insane. He just finished building a trike. It's like the Herman Munster vibe.
Rear go-kart wheels.
It's so crazy.
With the little basket on the
Full
back.
of skulls and skeletons and crosses and spikes. Like, his stuff
Cool.
is
He's
amazing.
got a banana seat with the big handlebars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to send
He's
me.
always out there working.
Send me pictures.
I will send you.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's amazing.
Pretty much metal fabrication is what I like to do, or I end up having to do that to do what I do. Like this mini bike project that I'm doing, that Teresa was mentioning. I bought a frame online, and then I cut it in half. I stretched it 6.5 inches. I'm buying piece by piece by piece.
Like every inch of it is
custom. Just all the research on it too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like seriously, he was going to be done with it a month ago, but his brain is like you. I'm always like, you're like Phil in that way because your brain is all over the place and you're creative. I always say you're the glad scientist. He's like that. I literally call him that. He's the garage scientist because it's like his brain. And I just come out there and I'm like, oh my God, it's insane to see what comes out of your brain.
Yeah. I like it. Fun. I like it. I relate. Yeah. I dig it. No wonder we get along.
Yeah.
I got a whole workshop in the garage here. So
yes, we get to work from home.
Teresa just got me a plasma cutter. Yeah. And a tube bender.
Yeah. So he's all set up.
I got a tube notcher and all that. So yeah.
Sweet. Well, I'm expecting. It sounds like you got the makings of. The next reality, like what was the thing years ago? West Coast Choppers or
right? Yeah.
There's a newer guy. I think there's a man in Texas, right? There's a show.
There's Count Cars. We watch them. That's all we watch, Phil. Yeah. It's on rotation, Motor Trends TV. That's all we watch.
Roadkill Garage.
Yes.
Is that the guy in Texas?
There's a bunch of guys in Texas.
He watches all of them.
Roadkill, those were the two guys that actually wrote for Motor Trend magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And a lot of people cater to or enjoy them because they show guys like, hey, you have this car laying in the field, it's all rusted out, like this is how you do it, and they do it for the affordable, like everyday person. It's not like the $100,000 or $1 million builds, that not everyone can do. So,
well, that always struck me as silly on the West Coast Choppers because, you think of outlaw bikers and just people who want to live on the road and motorcycle freedom, and then they're building these bikes that 20 years ago you needed $50,000-$60,000 for their bikes, so it's kind of silly, but. Well, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. We will wrap up a couple of things. We have exciting news now. I think we're going to probably drop this pod. We'll aim for the day that the news comes out. So why don't you share what that news will be? You'll have the honor, please.
Is this the news that we're going to be dropping Teresa's version of the Coffee Crunch bar?
That is the news.
My favorite bar
yes.
of all time. Oh my
so
God.
You wanted it, you deserve it, and you got it. So probably at the time of anybody listening or watching this, we will have Teresa's Coffee Crunch special edition with a little Teresa flair to make it extra coffee-licious. It will be out.
Oh my God.
You know what she does? She buys them all. And that...
He knows how much many bars I buy.
I know. I get an alert when I have an order from Teresa comes up on the babe. We need extra people tomorrow. Put more people on shift.
But see, I give them out to everybody. I literally keep everybody I know stocked with dive bars. When I go to visit the school, I get harassed. I get phone calls. Do I not get phone calls?
Yeah.
The staff, we're out of dive bars, Teresa. Can you please bring us some? And I'm like, okay.
Well, and we love that. We love that you do that. We've been watching you do that for however the heck long, a couple of years. Yeah. So that is very sweet, and you're spreading the love. And we will probably be in Orlando at the time of this broadcast airing on the interweb. Pop Recovery, cool. Beautiful Mind.
Yes.
Anybody who is, if we're in Orlando at this moment, right, they can tune in and visit virtually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do visit virtually, or if you get a ticket, you can go in person. And we actually just announced that for anybody who is attending, and by this time it'll already be out there, we are actually giving away a free bariatric surgery and a free plastic surgery. So two people's lives are going to be completely changed, and all they have to do is have a ticket, whether it's virtual or in person. So that's, again, uplifting, inspiring, and trying to motivate. And I'm super excited. So I am looking very much forward to ordering a crap ton of the Coffee Crunch bar, and everyone's going to be obsessed with it. They love it. So yeah.
And maybe we can if we can get our butts together. As I mentioned with you, it's not our team. We finally got a great team that's like really sharp as a knife. Some sourcing and supply hiccups that have pushed it back a few days, but if possible, we'll have this bar at the event, sampling it. So we'll try to get one into everybody's hands. So what I like to do as we wrap up, just more of a classic kind of 80s game show, talk show, get a little fun, get to know people type of deal. Short answer questions, yes, no, 1, 2, 3 word answers, and please contribute your answer each. We want both of you guys to answer, and this isn't like the newlywed. No pressure. Relationship questions. Like,
that might be a little spicy.
Yeah. We're all maybe old enough to remember. It was like the honeymoon show, or whatever. Like,
yeah.
When making whoopee, who initiates whoopee?
Yes. Oh my God.
Gosh.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's now I made it sound too juicy. I just want to know. You're home. You're chilling. Weeknight, weekend, whatever it is. You put on TV, Hulu, Netflix, the thing of your choice. What are we watching? Together. How do you watch together?
Tonight, what are we watching? He picks everything. Yeah. I don't even care. Like, I'm just hanging. He picks, but right now we are watching.
Right now we're watching
the
Black Sails.
No, we've just finished the Black Sails. We're watching The Last Kingdom. The Last Kingdom, a Viking show.
Yeah,
that's what we're watching right now. Okay. Last Kingdom, but we just watched Black Sails.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys like a lot of the Viking, medieval, the Game of Thrones fantasy genre? I don't like it. Janice loves it.
Not all of it.
I actually I had to get into the Game of Thrones because everyone was talking about it when I was working at auto parts store.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
And I wasn't really into the Viking stuff. But I think after watching like Black Sail and a couple other, we watched Yellowstone. That was a big one with the other two series that
not sci-fi fantasy genre, but good.
But
the opposite, like cowboys with no electricity.
The opposite.
Yeah, but it's we like a lot of history.
Period
stuff.
pieces.
Yeah,
period pieces.
Yeah, period pieces. Yes. Like oh my gosh, like that's what
rapid
people
fire,
did back
baby,
then?
rapid fire.
Oh yeah. Ding.
Yeah, that's my fault. I can't do rapid fire. I say it's rapid fire, and I'm like, oh yeah, man, me too.
I know.
Okay, 2 different answers, right? 2 different answers, one from each of you.
Yes.
Favorite meal, dream meal. It's your birthday dinner. Where are you going? What are you having made? What are you making? Teresa.
I'll go to Red Lobster and I'll get the ultimate feast.
Yeah.
So
I'm down with some ultimate.
Actually, and for my birthday, I already have a plan for my birthday. We're going to On the Hook, and she keeps calling it Off the Hook.
Where's On the Hook?
I don't know. I don't eat fish.
It's a seafood place. It's a seafood place. They bring you a bag of like cooked like seafood. And they put a lot of Cajun spices in it and all that, but it's really good.
So that's what we're going for dinner. What about for dessert on your if you had a dessert preference? Yeah.
I don't know, like frozen yogurt.
We like that.
From the yogurt place.
Yeah.
For me, I think my favorite's always like either Mexican food or pizza. Like I'm super easy, thin crust pizza. Dessert wise, anything like strawberry cheesecake, I'm good. Like for my birthday every year, we always did like an angel food cake. I come from Garden Grove, California, where there's a strawberry festival every year. So I love strawberries. So anything with strawberries, I'm down for.
All right. Very cool. And because I have to ruin everything, isn't Garden Grove where the Hustler Casino now resides?
Is it in Garden Grove?
I don't know.
Well, put it this way. A guy I know, the guy who told me about the medical marijuana edibles, told me it's over there.
Gotcha.
I think so. Let me
That's
see.
so funny. I'll have to Google that. I did not know that.
I'm gonna geek out and break the rules of podcasting. Oh, Gardenia. It's in Gardenia, California.
Gardenia, okay.
Which is by
Not
Commerce.
Oh, that's LA.
No.
LA.
Yeah.
LA,
it's in LA.
Commerce,
Yeah.
between Commerce and Downey and Long Beach and all that. Okay, I screwed up.
That's LA, yep.
I've ruined
No
the
worries.
rapid fire. All right. Dream vacation.
You're the best.
And it could be as extravagant or simple, but who wants to be in the woods and hear the crickets, and who wants to go to the whatever Eiffel Tower?
Yeah. Well, I love going to the mountains on vacation, but I've done that a lot. What pops in my mind right now are like, it's like a sandals resort, like where is it, in the Caribbean somewhere, or it's the what's that one movie with Vince Vaughn and Couples Retreat?
Oh, okay.
Just like
Beach resort.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when you're in your little bungalow with the straw like roof and all that, and you got like a glass floor, and you can see all the fish under like in there. And, yeah, that'd be really cool.
Already, I'm down for a beach vacay. I'd love to go to like Bali or something like that and like live on the beach for like a month. I would love that. Anything beach related, I'm down for. But I would love to I like to be near any water. So if I went to the mountains, it would have to be like near a lake or something like that, where I could be like on the lake.
Yeah.
Maybe the I saw on social media maybe the perfect vacation for you guys. For years we've all seen, like, I don't know, it's like Tahiti or Fiji, those little stick bungalows. You go out on the pier and there's a series of, and now they have ones where your bedroom's underwater with the aquarium window, and so you're in the aquarium with the fish around the bedroom. Cool. That checks all the boxes.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Except she's terrified of sharks, though.
I don't even like to see sharks on TV.
Oh, okay. Well, this is good. This is.
I'm like, oh my god, I'm the girl in the movie. Yeah, I'm the girl in the movie theater that when you see it, I'm the one that drops the OF ocean. I cannot control myself. Like when I see it, I'm done. That's me. I don't do sharks.
Well,
or fish. I don't even want to be in the water where there is fish. I know if there's any fish, I don't want to be in it.
No. Well, because where there's fish, the sharks are coming to eat the fish. That's you've been over and seen us in Venice, Florida. We're on the Gulf Coast. There's bull sharks, terrible sharks, big nasty sharks all over.
Yeah.
And now I see them on Reels and TikTok, and like in our town or town up or down, and you're like, what the hell, man? This thing is in 12 inches of water, foot and a half of water.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not down for that. No, I'll watch from a distance. I'll watch from the beach.
Okay. Well, this brings me, it's good. This is not scripted, I swear. This brings me to the final question. I was going to say, if you had to pick one of these three horrifying things, I like to be hypothetical, a crazy billionaire terrorist, like a James Bond evil, Dr. Evil guy. He's got you. And he goes, you're going to do one of these things if you want to live. All right, I got skydive, bungee jump, or swim with sharks.
Oh, no.
I would probably swim with sharks. Yeah. Because I'm not like I'm not like a thriller type of guy. I mean, as far as like going 200 miles an hour, like in the open air with the parachute, or
I would do the skydiving.
Wow.
I don't trust the rope. And that's coming from being a big girl. Even though I'm not big anymore, my mind still thinks the rope would break. My fat brain goes right to that. But I would trust skydiving because I would be like holding on to somebody else. I would make them do that. But you could not pay me enough money in the world to swim with sharks. No. If you fell in, honey, I'm sorry. True story. When my brother and I were out on a little boat in Northern California where there are a lot of white sharks, we saw a shark under the boat. I got so panicked, I tried to throw my brother over the boat because I was so afraid, like terrified of sharks. So, yeah. I'll take the parachuting. Oh, can't hear you. You can't.
I
You can see him moving, but you can't hear him.
I hit
There you are.
my goofy ass. I was clearing my throat a moment earlier, so I was just saying. On that note, after your anecdote with your brother, I'm like, I'm not renting you a kayak next time you come to Florida.
No.
Who you'll be bumping me off a shark. Let me throw Phil before it gets
I
me.
see a shark. I panic, and that's it. Whoever's with me, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't do good with heights, thrills, action, roller coasters. I might be in the water. Me and Mike might be swimming with the sharks. Because
Yeah.
I don't know.
My stomach just gets a little weird with motion.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to jump out of a plane, but out of those three options, I am not choosing the shark.
If you jump out of when you skydive, right? You see these people, and then like I don't know, you see them they're floating through the air and they're smiling and they go. Are we to believe that like that shitty feeling of free falling is that like the first 5 seconds and then you just feel like you're Superman? Because I can't have that feeling for 8 fucking minutes. I'd faint.
I know exactly. What if your parachute?
No.
Yeah, like
No, that's also very terrifying. I could not imagine jumping out of an airplane.
And I don't know what the phobia name is, but I get afraid of just being out in the open, like and to that degree too,
Near the edge or anything.
You're by your or with one of those stunt guys or that's done it a lot, but you're just there's nothing around.
I don't even like flying, and I have to fly a lot, but I have to literally put my beats on, my music, and I have to tune out the fact that I am up in the airplane because it will make me have like a panic attack. So I literally do not like being in the sky at all. But I think I prefer that over sharks.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes our Happy Thoughts podcast. But those things are fun. You get to know
I love
the
it.
inside thinkings of people. Guys, very happy for you both. Teresa, congrats, of course, on all of your successes and just the journey. Like I tell everyone, there's more triumph and endurance than many folks even know. And
thank you.
guys are super awesome. You look super happy. And
Thank you.
let's have a great, happy, healthy summer. And
yes, sir. Thank you.
tell everyone at home, bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Have
We
a
love
good
you.
one.
Thank you.
Good night, and we love you. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
And